Welcome back, guys. Thursday was another ugly one, and this time the weakness looked even more serious under the surface. Yesterday's hesitation turned into fresh breakdowns in tech, small caps confirmed their warning shot, and the whole market felt squeezed by the same brutal combo of higher oil, a stronger dollar, and rising rates. One question remains on traders' minds. Are we in for a roller coaster of a drop, or are we in for more chop with overnight movement to the upside? You're watching the Stock Market Summary series, and we're going to break this all down and get into what we're seeing. And if you're new here, please note that none of this is buying or selling advice. We're just calling what we see happening in the charts as things develop.
Yeah, and looking at those charts, the damage was incredibly specific today. The QQQ, which tracks the NASDAQ 100, that sank 2.39%.
Wow, so it completely smashed through Friday's low.
Right, exactly. Smacked right through it. And the SPY dropped 1.79%. Plus, small caps, which, like we mentioned yesterday, flashed that major warning sign at resistance. Well, they followed through today.
So the IWM rejected hard.
Yeah, it ran up, kissed its 20-day moving average, and just fell 1.74%.
Yeah.
So the tech-heavy NASDAQ is actually now officially 10% below its October high.
Jeez. And it wasn't just the broad indices cracking, right? Like individual tech and infrastructure names were just falling apart. You had XLK breaking down, NVIDIA closing below key support, ANET cracking.
Oh, yeah, the individual charts were rough today.
Right. But ASTS was the one that really caught my eye. It slammed right back inside its triangle. It almost looks like a trapdoor suddenly opening under the stock. Are we looking at the setup for a bearish death hook here?
Mechanically, yes, absolutely. That trapdoor visual is, well, it's a perfect way to describe a bull trap. When a stock fails a breakout and violently reverses back into its consolidation pattern like ASTS did today, it's like a crowded room where everyone rushes the exit at once.
Which causes all that panic selling.
Exactly. All that trapped upward momentum instantly converts into panic. But look, if we zoom out, these technical breakdowns aren't happening in a vacuum. They're directly tied to this massive macroeconomic vice grip. Because even though we had stable labor data today, with jobless claims coming in at just 210,000, equities are still choking.
Okay, let's unpack this. If labor is fine, why is the market ignoring it entirely to panic over energy disruptions?
Well, simply put, stable employment doesn't fix a supply-side oil shock.
No.
You've got the Iran crisis intensifying, and that pushed Brent oil surging toward $108 a barrel today.
Right, which keeps inflation hot.
Exactly. And if energy disruptions keep inflation hot, the Fed's hands are tied. They can't cut interest rates to support the economy if oil is just driving up the cost of everything.
Right, which drags bond yields and the dollar significantly higher. Hey, don't forget, if you've got a stock you're watching or a question about the markets, let us know in the comments. We want to know what you're tracking to make these videos more relevant if possible, and we'll do our best to talk about what we see in a future episode. And as always, drop a like if you appreciate these market summaries and click subscribe too so you can stay updated.
Yeah, definitely let us know because, navigating a headline-driven market like this is exactly why rigid risk management isn't just a nice idea, it's how you survive. Avoiding emotional exits, using proper hedges, respecting stop losses.
The absolute essentials.
Right.
So, since the Fed's hands are tied and the dollar is acting like a wrecking ball against tech, you'd normally expect traders to flee to traditional safe havens.
Yeah, a surging dollar makes commodities priced in dollars way more expensive globally, which just crushes demand. And Bitcoin wasn't spared either. It fell 4% on the session.
Wait, Bitcoin is still hovering right at its 50-day moving average? My instinct says this is the ultimate line in the sand before releasing pent-up bearish energy. But hasn't crypto historically ignored these traditional equity support lines when macro panic sets in?
It frequently does, yeah. Which is exactly why relying solely on that 50-day line is pretty dangerous right now. Look, moving averages are psychological battlegrounds, sure, but the broader risk-off environment is just draining liquidity out of the system.
So if the institutional bulls don't step in to defend that line,
then crypto could easily be the next asset class to see a major cascading leg down.
Man. So to wrap things up, tech is cracking, alternative assets are getting hit, and the macro forces of oil, rates, and the dollar are leaning heavily against the bulls.
It leaves us with a critical puzzle for tomorrow. With oil driving this entire panic, the real question isn't just what the Fed will do, it's whether the energy sector has officially decoupled from the rest of the economy. If tech and crypto keep bleeding, energy stocks might become the only life raft left for institutional capital. So, are we in for ultimate capitulation, a fake bounce, or just more chop?
That's a great point and definitely something to keep a close eye on. Have a great rest of the day, guys, and we'll catch you in tomorrow's market summary.